This is kind of an unscheduled video, but I feel like I need to explain myself. And this is kind of a video of weird, complicated thoughts. I've just seen this post regarding a recent thing that I might have tweeted to Amy Beth, which she agreed with, and then she did a photo and then it got deleted or whatever. I've just had this conversation with my dad just now, actually, which is quite weird, regarding this subject. So I feel like it's an appropriate time to film this, even though I look absolutely disgusting right now. I haven't washed my hair, anything, but I just have to get my thoughts down because I have so many thoughts about this. I recently, well, in August, I tweeted this thing where Amy Beth, the actress who plays Anne Shirley on Anne with an E, how would you feel if Anne was canonically bisexual in the show? Because I always thought she was in the books. I mean, I haven't read the book for a long time. I mean, Anne's sexuality has been on debate. You can't deny it for years now. There was an article about it and things which I read. And it's really nice to see a person who plays Anne Shirley to agree with it, to accept a headcanon about her sexuality, because there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't harm anyone. And there was like this version, I think, of Anne of Green Gables where it's a web series, I think, Project Green Gables, where Anne has a crush on Diana. Well, it's unrequited, but and it's confirmed, kind of confirmed, that she's bisexual or whatever she wants to label herself. And she doesn't label herself, which I like that actually, because they debated on the lesbian subtext in the book. I mean, I'm just using bunny ears because, you know, it is still up for debate. So, and I replied, I know it was beautiful because I watched it and I actually felt like crying after watching that. I mean, Anne has so much love in her heart. Let her love everyone. And I realise now that that probably wasn't the best phrasing in the world. Like, I say that with dignity. It wasn't the best phrasing in the world. It was actually pretty poor if you think about it. The thing is, I was having this chat with my dad just now, literally, regarding Anne's sexuality. And he was saying how in the 1800s, or in the thing, that women were very closely attached to each other. I wasn't disagreeing with them, because it was like that. Women's friendships were intense and are still intense today. I remember having this same kind of friendship with my best friend Bronwyn. I mean, I just told her I loved her and I wrote love poems. Kind of the same as Anne Shirley. I told her she was beautiful all the time. Not all the time, but, you know, it's just that kind of intense friendship. But that doesn't necessarily mean it was romantic. Honestly, I feel like I'm the only one of the few people who have had candidates about her sexuality that don't think she was in love with Diana. I never thought she was in love with Diana. I always thought she felt the same thing I did. I always thought she had a really intense love for her because she was the first girl she ever loved and was ever being friends with. And the series captured that beautifully. You know, she made friends with her because she was so desperate to be loved, and the genuine feelings built up over time of her realizing that she actually did love Diana fully, and not just because she was the first girl that actually treated her like a human being. But I don't think she was bisexual because of that. I thought she was bisexual because that was kind of who she was as a person. I have joked about Diana and Anne being, oh, OTP bosom friends, oh, they're in love, oh, they should be a thing. Yeah, I have joked about that, but I do that with every girl friendship, okay? I'm just that kind of person. I felt like it wasn't a relationship that was straight, it wasn't a relationship that was gay, it wasn't a relationship that had any labels. It was transcendent, it was beautiful, it was intense, it was romantic, in a way that wasn't romantic. But I don't think it's an unfair depiction of people saying it was romantic. I mean, boy and girl friendships are interpreted romantic every single freaking day. So, like, why is it unfair that girl friendships are interpreted romantic as well? Because boy-girl friendships have the same sort of treatment. It's not unheard of. It's not an unhealthy interpretation. Because people are allowed to think whatever the freaking hell they want, you know? If you think someone is gay with that other person just because they're, like, in love with them, then that's fine. I don't think she was bisexual because of her friendship with Diana. I think she was bisexual because she just had such an open and loving heart. And I could see her loving every kind of person, whether they were a man or a woman, or just a regular human being. And I'm not saying that bisexual people love everyone they meet, you know, but I'm just saying that growing up and coming to terms with being queer myself, I saw a lot of myself in Anne Shirley, reading the book and watching the miniseries. I can't see her or say that she was straight because I don't think she liked labels like that. She was one of those people who say, I live like the trees, wherever the wind takes me, I love. So I'm not saying bisexual people love everyone. I was just saying that I just thought she was, because I just couldn't see her just loving one thing. I don't think it's an unfair headcanon or what have you. To say that Anne was bisexual, but just because, or queer or whatever, or any kind of label, because it was set in the late 1800s and women thought differently about them, because they did, but that people were bisexual back then, people were gay back then. Mrs. Berry is a living example of that, but it just wasn't talked about, you see. And I don't think that's an unfair interpretation just because you think of Anne Shirley as anything other than straight. Okay, if you think Anne Shirley is straight, then that's fine. If you think Anne Shirley is gay, then that's fine. If you think Anne is that's fine. I don't think it's unfair to put a label on it, and I don't think it's unfair to not. I don't think she has to be bisexual. It would just be so important to me personally if it was explored when she grows up. I just think it would be good because, like, to have a main character that's like that would be just amazing. I think of her as someone who doesn't have any labels at all. I just call it bisexual because it's something that the media or anyone just sees it as a label, and that's kind of what I use. I don't want to offend anyone. I didn't want to feel like my post offended anyone. I know the society puts a lot of thing about, like, if two boys hug each other, then that must be gay, and that's why they go homo or whatever. But I know society is becoming a lot worse now in terms of that, you know. Oh yeah, if two girls have a close friendship, they must be lesbians. No, that's not what I was trying to say at all. I think romantic friendships are the most beautiful, actually, because you can just be pulled out to your soul to everyone. Yeah, that's just what I've got to say. Sorry, this was incredibly long, but I just wanted to apologize if I gave the wrong idea. Yeah, because I feel like I owe it to Anne and the people that, yeah. So, sorry. I wish I could have phrased this in a much better way, but yeah, I'm sorry. But it is each to his own at the end of the day. So, bye.